This is the Foyne Jones Show, Season 5, and in Episode 8, we've got a very, very special guest. I've been wanting to get this lady onto the podcast for a long time. We're joined today by Ioannou. Elle, welcome to the show. Here we go. We are back in the studio. I'm laughing already. I'm laughing already for this episode. I was promised fun. I was promised laughter. I just about delivered a little bit of sunshine, but it was the black cloud of rain and doom and gloom. But that all disappeared in the car park on the way into the studio. This, unbelievably, listeners, this is Episode 8 of Season 5 of the Foyne Jones Show. This podcast, this time around, we are getting back to business. And for me, today's guest shows the power of LinkedIn. It generally shows. This is what's good about LinkedIn. I've got a lady on the other side of the studio to me. She's more popular than me on LinkedIn. She's got better tattoos than me. She's got a better laugh than me. And I'm going to get this right. Ioannou.
Spot on.
Boom,
Well done.
I got it right. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the Foyne Jones Show.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm really good. Excited to be here.
You're like a breath of fresh air.
Thank
like,
you.
You're like a roller coaster of emotion. It's like, she rang me. I'm going to share this with you, Charlie. She rang me. Can't find you. Don't know where you are.
That's right.
I'm at Aldi and Hobbycraft. I'm like, that's next door. Like,
Yes, yeah.
And she said, well, I'll park up and give you a call. So I just thought I'd stroll back, and she's there waving at me.
I know. Here I am.
And this is what's so good about, and God bless, we don't go back into another lockdown. But
no.
You know, we could meet each other again. We could smile. We could fist bump. We could bring personality in. So let's just take a couple of minutes, Elle, if it's all right with you. I'm sure it will be. For you just to tell the listeners who you are, what you do, and just a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Elle, and I work for Mr. Plant Hire in North London. Started out quite some years ago, but I've ended up where I am now, and we do a range of all construction work in equipment. I do the powered access. So I do the big stuff, the stuff that gets you in the air. But yeah, as a business, we do a variety of stuff from telehandlers, diggers, dumpers, right the way through to powered access. Everything. We do everything really.
Big boy kit.
Absolutely. We're going to do it. We're going to do it properly. So yeah.
And amazingly, you shared something with me, which I guess you've shared with others. So you're working with powered access. You're taking people up into the sky.
Yes.
You get yourself up into the sky, and we'll come on to that as well. But you're scared of heights. How's that work out?
Well, I know, but do you know what? If you don't push yourself to limits, you're never going to get anywhere, are you, in life? So I am scared of heights, but you know, yeah, we just don't look down. You know, look ahead. Don't look down. In so many ways, don't look down, just look ahead.
And you can take that everything, keep moving forward, can't you? The world we're in right now is you know, we're hitting this uncertainty. There was like people actually starting to panic buy a little bit. You know, I see it, and I'm going. We're not here again.
Yeah.
You know, we've got enough fuel to give everyone their petrol, but we're going to make life difficult for everyone.
Yeah.
I don't think we should panic buy again, but let's talk about your life at Mr. Plant Hire, because you don't fit the typical person that you imagine in that environment. So
no.
How did that start for you, Elle? How'd you rock up into it?
In Mr. Plant Hire itself, or
in
the
general,
industry?
Come on, let's tell your story.
Well, okay,
if you want to.
Yeah, sure. So when I was 18, I needed a job, and I was studying at college, doing absolutely nothing to do with hire whatsoever. I was doing IT and hated every minute of it. So I needed a job, and
Why
job came up.
Why did you choose IT?
Because my mum told me to.
Oh, yeah,
so,
you go. Yeah.
So that's why I did that. I got into the industry, and I started that when I was 18 years old. So I'm now 38. So I've kind of, over the last 20 years, I've just worked my way through different businesses. Not many, only about 4 or 5. But where I'm at today is by far the best role for me. It's not where I'm going to stop. It's where I want to, you know, my next step is to continue growing. I make that very clear every time I speak to my boss. But so, yeah, what I do is I run the powered access division for the business. And that starts from everything. That's from getting the customers on board, if you like, with our sales team support, from running the team to getting that hire out the door safely. And that's one of my biggest, well, that's not one of, it is my biggest things. It's got to be done safe. So I'm not a health and safety lover, But I am a fan of the right sort of policies in place for the right things, because people want to go home, don't they, at the end of the night. I'm not your average kind of person who sits or your office girl. No. Why would you want to be? How boring's that? You got to have a bit of buzz. I'm in charge of over 20 people. You know, that's 20 personalities that you have to learn, and you have to kind of be able to understand people. And if you're quite monotone and serious yourself, I don't think you really get through to people. So it's nice to have that bit of diversity.
I think with leadership comes in all different ways, and you know, I was in the corporate world for a long time. You know, I started work 17, 18, and just fell into builders merchants.
Yeah,
a bit like you. I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to play centre forward for Fulham.
Right. Okay.
But I weren't very good.
Right.
So that kind of stopped that pathway. I didn't like running much. So again, it kind of, you know, it was. So I had to do. But I fell into builders merchants, and you know, worked my way up to director level, and I look back and I think, what did I enjoy about it the most, and what do I miss now? I love what I do, and I've been doing it 19 years, and it doesn't feel like work. This isn't work.
No.
Is this work?
No,
this isn't
not
work,
really.
is it?
No, it's a day off today.
But when I sort of work it back, what do I miss? I do miss the team.
Yeah.
I do miss that kind of, you know,
Buzz.
this is my team. There's 30 of them. There's 20 of them, and you know, and what was my favourite job? It was definitely when I was 23 years of age. I was made a sales manager. I moved from West London to the West Country, right? So that was big at the time. And I think I had 22, 23 sales reps, all older than me, all knew better than me, all could do my job better than me, but I was in charge. And that was the character building where I've got to I've got to try and do something here. And I imagine you've knocked over a few stereotypes, is where I was coming from with that in what you're doing.
Absolutely, yeah. Look, you know what? I do have a range of age groups. Both genders as well, but do you know what? I don't worry about what people think when they see me. I show them in the way I work.
Yeah.
So it's a lot about building trust with people and respect and loyalties, and only time can do that. You know, if you show people that you're there to support them and you'll help them and develop them, then they will see that in time. And that's just kind of how I work, really. Nice and simple. You go to some offices, the radio's down, dead quiet, everybody's tapping away. You will not get that in any of my offices. No, anywhere I've worked.
There are times I'm in certain places and I'm conscious I'm making far too much noise.
And what a horrible. And how does it make you feel? Rubbish.
I just make more. I'm like, oh my. And we recently moved offices, and we moved to shout out to where we are, New Haven Marina. You got to come down there. It's right on. You live on the seaside anyway.
I do, yeah.
So the beach factor doesn't do too much. It's normally people go, oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
But we've got, like Charlie knows, we've got like a studio workshop, shutter doors, you know.
Yeah.
And we chose that because it was sort of separate to the main office building.
Yeah.
When I walk around the office suites, I'm like, yeah, they're really nice, but I don't think we should hang out next to that company because we're very visual, very creative, and a lot goes on. So that comes through, I think, in everything we do personality wise. What I've seen from the outside looking in, and I had like a guest list of people I wanted to invite, and you was on that for this series. Is that I love the way you celebrate your bosses.
Yeah,
you know, I love those posts, and I don't know whether they're embarrassed or not, but I just
most
like
of the time.
I don't think, you know, I know you, but you can see the story behind it. Is you're pushing it out there, and that passion you've got for what you do. You can't bottle that. No. You can't. Well, you'd love to be able to bottle it, but you can't buy it.
No.
It's not taught. It's something that's in you.
That's right, yeah.
It's in you. So, again, this isn't a deep question. It's just generally just fascinates me. What's your influences when you're not dealing with the powered access? What's your influences away from work? What do you enjoy doing?
Do you know what? As sad as it sounds, I work. My mind's always focused on the next challenge at work, or the next project, or the next email that's coming in. My downtime. I like to fly. I like to try and get as much of that in. I haven't flown for a couple of months, to be fair, but I like to do a bit of that. I like to go to the pub, drink some porn star martinis.
Do you get a train? Because we can have a drink afterwards.
I know. Unfortunately not, but no.
I thought you were going to make the end of it.
We can tow it.
So we've just brushed over something you said there.
Yes.
Really quickly, and you're the only guest. You're the only guest we've had who's just casually. Occasionally I do this. So let's call the next couple of minutes "Fly Me to the Moon" in the words of Frank Sinatra. All right.
Okay.
Okay, I did have Come Fly with me, but I don't think they could put the two of us in an aircraft. So,
no, well, you can.
Yeah. Can I? Can I be co-pilot? Can I press something?
Absolutely. Well, it depends what you're pressing.
Ejector seat? Have them? No. So fly me to the moon. Tell me how a girl from North London who lives in Leigh-on-Sea wakes up one morning and says, "I'm going to fly that." Where does that come from?
I tell you what, it comes from a very similar background to the fact that I'm scared of heights. So I like to go to Cyprus because originally,
I'm scared of heights.
I'm scared of heights. I'm going to fly a plane. My family's Greek Cypriot, so I often go to Cyprus. That's my second home. They're all in England, so it's completely irrelevant. I actually go and sit in a hotel and get drunk on all inclusive. But I like to go out there.
Drinking's a theme coming through.
I'll tell you what, there's definitely a problem here, isn't there? No, so I like to go away and travel as much as I can. And you know when you're going down, you're about to get on the plane and you're walking down that aisle to get on, I used to get all hot and sweaty and thinking,
the corridor of uncertainty.
Oh, it was just that nervous feeling.
Yeah.
I used to think, oh my
was
God.
it EasyJet though? Were people like starters orders before it was like speedy boarding, go?
Yeah, they used to give me a parachute. I don't know what the problem was.
It changed the fun when they gave you a seat on there, didn't it? I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
Where's the flight? I've got my elbows.
Exactly. No, so I was very, very nervous, and somebody said to me, do you know what? You need to try and get over this because you love to travel about, go on holidays really. Why don't you book a flying lesson? And it took me a good 2 to 3 years to even stomach booking it. But I did, and within one lesson I signed up to become a pilot, and here we are today. So
fair play to you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not over yet. I've still got some bits to finish off. And once I've done that, I've then going to go on to...
What do you fly and how far have you gone?
So I've done all my exams. I've done everything that I need to do. I've done all my hours. All I actually have to do now is my final skills test, which really is just... Oh, we've got to do a cross country as well. So, but it's all a matter of a couple of 3 or 4 lessons more than likely, if not a few more. But I fly solo, so you could, in the aviation world.
Of course you do. Obviously,
it's me. It's Elle. I always have an instructor with me, but I'm at the point where I can fly solo. If he can get out, I've got all my medicals and everything in place. So you get your wings, as they say in the aviation world, when you fly solo. That's when you get your pilot title. But I'm going to go on and be a commercial pilot. That is my next goal. I don't want to fly airliners. Not interested at all. Obviously, if Richard Branson's listening, then yes, I do. I'm joking. But no, I don't. I'm not really interested in the big stuff.
What about the private jet world? Do you see
exactly
yourself jumping into one of them at Biggin Hill and
That's exactly what I'm doing.
I don't know. Maybe Adele needs to pop over to Monaco.
I mean, if she wants this, absolutely fine.
She does listen.
Does she? Does she? Yeah. Hello.
Her and the So Solid crew, my biggest fans.
No, it's actually funny you say it. It's private jets is what I'm going into. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, that was a guess, and you just suit that world.
Do you know what? I'd be better in the back of it.
Do this as your captain speaking.
Oh, really? No, I can't do that yet. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet.
Do you know what? That's really powerful because you mentioned about getting the wings. So my boy's going through that, and
yes.
and everything he talks about is when I pass out. It's like I'm not there yet,
no.
and it's earning that, and it's like and they have a motto, it's earned, not given.
Absolutely.
And you've got you are going up in the sky.
Absolutely,
So I admire it. I'm going to share something to you, and it makes me sound like a real coward. All right, but I'm going to share it with you. We live in Sussex, and round the Sussex Downs, they have Sussex paragliding, right? So for years, I'll see them up in the sky, and I'm going to my missus, I want to do that. I'll be like Del Boy, I want to do that, like Falls. The episode, I'll be that. And I'm like, yeah. So I've been going on about it. Last Christmas, I actually got a voucher.
Wow, okay.
I'm like, oh no. Oh no, I've got to go. And then, obviously, I'm not thanking the pandemic, but lockdown meant we couldn't go up.
Yeah.
And everyone's now like, it's becoming a running joke. When are you going to do it? I'm like, I don't know. So I've now roped the whole of Foyne Jones in. Okay. So I'm like, so we've now got like extra vouchers, and we're all going to go up. And we were actually going to do it about 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
But Holly, who's our associate director, she went over on her ankle. Right. So we've delayed it, but we are going to have a Foyne Jones paragliding event.
Excellent.
He's going to be filming it.
Fantastic.
So I don't know how it's going to go. It doesn't compare with you, but I think it's more the case of I've talked myself into this, and I was actually, why did I keep saying that?
You'll be so proud when you do it. I've done paragliding out in Cyprus. Good? It's incredible, and it's nerve-wracking. You've got nothing beneath your feet.
But I have no excuse, right? Because like the Downs, where it is like a 5-minute drive from my front door.
Yeah.
Right. So and they can do any day day we want, as long as we like. And they confirm that. And I'm like, I'm trying to find a reason not to go. I'm like, no, let's just get it done.
I guarantee you now, and have this show as my witness, and everyone listening, you will be so proud of yourself when you do it, and it will be the biggest buzz you've ever done.
I've got no choice now.
You've got to do it. You've got to do it. I'm going to be watching it now.
El's put it on me.
You'll love it, and what you'll love the most is the fact that you've achieved it. You really will. It's the best feeling in the world.
No, and I think from this side of the desk that you are going to get where you want to get to.
Thank you.
Because it just comes through, that determination comes through, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not about what I want, it's what I'm going to get and how soon, really.
And that determination and that standing out above, not being seen to do the right thing. 'Cause everyone can be seen to do it, and everyone can talk about doing it, right? But I saw last year I saw the best of humanity, I saw the worst of humanity. We saw it all, didn't we? You were one of those individuals who stood up and made a difference during COVID, didn't you?
Yes.
You really did. Yeah. Let's talk about that, because I think that deserves real recognition.
Yeah, OK. So as a business, Mr Plant Hire remained open throughout the whole pandemic to support whoever needed support. In the construction world was obviously closed down. It was really, really tough times for everybody. But with the pop-up hospitals that were being created in and around London, some people don't even know about. They didn't even hit the media. There were some awful things being built in preparation for some severe situations. We found that, unfortunately, we had to furlough a lot of staff. But what we found was the phones were still ringing, but the calls were very different. It wasn't hello mate, yeah, I need a digger. Hello mate, I need a cherry picker. It was the change of tone in their voice. And we need some equipment to the Royal London or to wherever, because we're building a hospital COVID unit. It's something that will stay with me for a long time.
That's really poignant.
Yeah, you don't, unless you've taken those calls and in whatever industry, not just ours, but you'll understand. It was a change of tone. I realised that we can be there tomorrow wasn't good enough. Or we can be there in 6 hours wasn't good enough. So what we did was we pulled a lorry off the road. And we got one guy back purely just to operate for COVID jobs. And we had basically one point of call. And if any COVID job come in, it was priority, 60 minutes on site. And we just did that, and we carried that through all the way through. So if you phoned up and said, I needed a wind-up eco and I need it as soon as, you'd get it within the hour, because we knew the importance. It was hard work. It really was. You think, well, it doesn't sound too challenging, but those who are in the industry, when you've got jobs going on and limited staff, it was really hard. But we did it, and we did it proudly. And one guy in particular phoned up and said, I can't thank you enough for what you did. We managed to get that last bit of the unit ready so we can get patients put in. And you're just thinking, like, wow.
Then all of a sudden it's really real life.
It's
and
very
it's
real.
Really terrifying.
Very real, yeah.
And that one of my mates is a black cabbie, and he started doing some work, picking. And they got cabbies in to do it, and it was like, if you've got a family, and he did some, but he couldn't do because he's got young kids and that. They're like, we can't expose you to this.
Yeah.
But he shared with me, some what that really meant, and how we have made a difference. And I think the construction industry, I'm not saying it was frontline to an extent, but the wheels did keep turning, and you had to support the infrastructure, and you had to support it. So I think that, and listeners might not get it, but turning that round in an hour, that's a big ask in normal times.
Yeah, absolutely. It's near on impossible sometimes, certainly on your day-to-day, but, we made it happen because we had to. Sometimes it may have took that little bit longer, but that was our aim. That was 99% achieved, and we'll do it all. God forbid we have to do it again, but the country's set up differently now.
Yeah.
We're a little bit further forward than we were back then. So, and we support, and we took a machine out of fleet. And now what I do is every time it goes out on hire, at the end of that month, I calculate the hire revenue and I donate a percentage of it to a charity. And it's just a little 19-foot scissor lift. But you know what? For what it costs us, we can afford
just
to do that.
Just a little 19-foot scissor lift.
Exactly.
This is big kit.
It is big kit, but you know what? To us and the difference it makes, and we let the customer decide. We also was part of from Skyjack, which is one of our manufacturers of some equipment. Fantastic thing they did for us. They were really proud and pleased with everything we were doing as well. And they wrote a cheque out and said, donate it to who you want. So Mr Plant Hire donated it to the NHS.
Fair play to Mr Plant Hire.
Thank you.
And well done. Genuinely, I supported the industry in terms of job loss. So many people through no fault of their own just
Yeah,
They
absolutely.
weren't lucky enough to be furloughed, all
Yeah.
right? And it was there. And I was dealing with some heartbreaking stories. And
I can imagine.
and then when you... And again, you know, I weren't the only one to suffer bereavement. I weren't, you know,
No.
it was hitting us all. And I go, you know, I worked every day. Like, you know, and I was the lonely business owner, like kind of like bowling in on my own with my dog. You know, Snoop, you met Snoop? See
Not
my
yet,
dog?
no,
Oh,
no.
He wanted to come and meet you today, but he can't be
Let's meet
trusted
him.
in this environment.
Me or him?
It's Snoop Dogg. He's named after my wife's favourite rapper. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay, fine.
Yeah, D-O-double-G. But you could pick up some stories and what people were doing while they weren't working and how they were trying to help others. Bart Murphy, who was in, you know,
Yes.
he mobilised loads of kit and got it out and actually made it happen. You've done something that you will look back on in later life and you'll go, yeah, that call when the banter weren't there.
Yeah, that's
It was
right.
actually, I'm going to swear, it was fucking serious then.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, people say a gun at your head or that moment of truth. That was the moment of truth when when you made something happen.
Absolutely, yeah. And like I said, I don't think people realise what was getting built. It wasn't just COVID units. There was, you know, there was pop-up mortuaries and everything.
That's when I'm talking about my mate, the Black Cabbie.
Yeah.
That's what they were doing because it was,
It was really, really, really horrific. And I've got some really good friends and close friends in the ambulance service and a massive respect to those guys. You know, and they were really struggling. You know, I was talking to them, how is it out there? Is it media driven?
Yeah.
Is it a load of crap? And they were like, oh, it's bad.
Yeah.
You know, and you're seeing, you know, women in their 20s, 30s and 40s like crying because it was so tough. So, you know, each to their own on it and what people believe in it. But you know what? I'm proud of what we did to support where we could, and we will do it all over again. 100%. Mr. Plant Hire will remain open where we can, obviously following guidelines, and we'll be there to support who we can.
Boom. What a great start to the podcast, Elle.
Thank
we
you.
have come flying with you.
We have.
We've gone on the journey.
Let's do it. Let's
We're
fly.
knocking over stereotypes, and let's end it by saying thank you, NHS, because like
Absolutely.
genuinely. Yeah, genuinely.
Massive,
I mean,
yeah.
we are there because of them, and it's something that the country should be really proud of.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's
Thank
the first
you.
half of the show.
Excellent. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you ready? The digital revolution is no longer a spectator sport. It's game on. The magical art of storytelling is the future. Social, content, branding, podcasts, video marketing, and virtual 360 tours. This is Jones Digital.
Magic.
Magic.
It's magic. It's like Harry
So,
Potter.
we're like this,
There you
look
go.
at this.
It's like Harry Potter. I told you we'd have fun, but I think the way that first half of the episode ended, it did actually give us the reality check because this isn't over.
No.
You know, normal as it was will never be the same again. We did a whole series of podcasts on the new normal. Don't quite know whether I like it or not. I mean, I liked it how it was before. I liked it how it is now. I think we have all woken up to different challenges, and I do actually value the simple things.
Yeah.
You know, you're by the seaside beside the sea like me. You know, I can walk with a dog along the sea. Cost me no pence.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's there was that wake up call. But getting to the theme of this series, Elle, back to business, right?
Yes.
So you have ridden the wave of the pandemic. You've come out of it smiling. You know, we've got scars. We've all got scars. You come out of it smiling. How is Mr. Plant Hire and your industry? How are they looking now, and what are their thoughts for the trends for next year?
Do you know what? I was nervous a little bit when we was going through all this, and we had a yard full of kit during the pandemic, naturally. But we've actually come out really well. As a business, we're constantly growing. We're constantly ordering new machines. There's new fleet coming in. Our new boss is just phenomenal in where he wants to take the business, which is great for me. The industry itself is just growing, and I think. I don't know if it's to say because we were far behind, because we had that period where we couldn't do the works. So now maybe people are kind of a little bit behind on their projects. So the workload's come piling in. But we're doing really well. We've got over 75% of the machines utilised, and you just can't knock figures like that. Certainly this time of year, it's Christmas. Naturally, things are going to slow down a bit. Next year is a promising year for us. There's always new projects going up, but they're positive ones. They're not hospitals. They're then the fun stuff, the nice stuff. So yeah, I mean, for us, we're doing really well.
Was you in? You must have been. 'Cause you've been in the sector 20 years, in different routes. How involved was you with the Olympic Stadium and everything there? Because
I wasn't at Mr. Plant Hire then. I was at a different company at the time. But again, we had on sites there. We were working.
It just came back to me when you talk about exciting projects because I left my sales director role when I was London sales director in 2003.
Okay.
But everything we were doing was building up for like 2012. It was like every meeting's 2012. I'm like, yeah. And 2012 come and I had a recruitment business and I was still like, it's 2012. Something amazing's going to happen. But that's what Yes, those projects are exciting, but it's the cut and thrust of the day job that keeps it going, and it's encouraging for me to have a different sector on the show and being positive about the future.
Yes.
Because there was a time we didn't know what was going to happen. Now we know there's a market.
Mm-hmm.
We know we're going to be working towards it.
Yeah.
You're going to capitalise on that, aren't you?
Oh, absolutely. And we've certainly done that. We're always investing. We're very fortunate that we're in a good financial position in the business, and we just go and buy machines on customer demand to a degree. And we've always got new machines coming in. There's another 10 machines coming in the first quarter of next year, if not more, to follow. And we're always keeping our fleet nice and fresh, nice and new, and changing. What else is out there that we could get involved in? It's not just what we do.
And from your content, because I want to get onto LinkedIn and social channels, but from your content, your position in Mr. Plant Hire in a very different way.
Yes.
You're kind of knocking the preconceptions down and you're putting stuff out there. You must enjoy that.
Yes.
But that for me so encouraging because there is so much opportunity now.
Mm-hmm.
Your marketing could be working for you when you're asleep. You can be talking. You'll be talking to so many people. How exciting is that for you to kind of think about content creation and strategy like that?
There's a bit of a joke at my workplace.
Go on then.
Because one of my senior bosses, who's Tony.
Hello, Tony.
Hello, Tony. Right, he loves to be the face of Mr. Plant. Bless him, but he's got about four connections on LinkedIn, and I'm one of them, and I think his other account is his other one. And there's always a battle because it's just like
there's a bit of could do better there. Arguably, yeah. Tony, you could do better.
You need to step up. So I've obviously got one or two more than him. We're always looking at creating something a bit fun, and for me, and we're working with another marketing company at the moment, and they're really good, and they say, send us pictures of diggers, dumpers, and powered access, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to send you a photo of my cake that I got for my birthday. But you make a story out of it, and I actually get more viewings and more interest for the business. People book training with us, they book machines with us, they buy harnesses from me because they saw a flying post 2 weeks ago. So it's about being personal. It's about showing that you've actually got a bit of personality. So
straight away, right? So you can overcomplicate the world, but I love cake. Right,
I love cake.
So if I see and porn star martinis as well.
Right, yeah. I'm glad you finished that. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, steady. I mean, you get your OnlyFans banter out soon, won't you? It's all go. But I like cake. So if I see someone with cake, I like dogs. If I see someone with a dog, I like footballs. If someone talks about a football, they've got my attention.
And you like porn star martinis.
I love alcohol.
So what do you do when you see the first part of that?
Please come on every show. We'll do a weekender. We just record all of the time.
Let's do it.
But honestly, what I cannot do is put you in the same bar as my wife.
Why is that? Do you not trust me?
I think it'd be like a tag team of chaos. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. She's not shy around a porn star martini.
Is she not?
No, she likes a drink.
I thought it was because you didn't trust me or something.
No. No, it's much more about the night out. But honestly, Elle, that bringing personality into your social content isn't hard. I talk to people that say, "But I'm not interested." I'm like, "What do you mean you're not interested? Everyone's interested."
Yeah.
Now, we've all got something that we offer. Yeah. There's a reason you get out of bed in the morning. There's a reason you do it, and bringing that to life is something which can be really overcomplicated. Mm-hmm. Keep it simple, keep it real. You have fun.
Yes.
Yeah. You've got 16,000, 17,000 connections. I'm not a stalker, I just know that. Yeah.
You're one of them, so it's great.
And that's the power of it. Okay, so you look at how connections can turn. We as a recruitment business do not have a business development team. Right?
Okay.
I don't have a team of people going, "Hi, I can see you recruiting. Hi, I can see you recruiting. Can we have you?" We don't have that. We're blessed in a way that through our reputation, through our specialist service, I guess through personality and through results.
Yeah.
You know, organically we generate opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm probably more proud of that than anything else, is that you can position yourself and people are interested in you. If I just spoke about recruitment every day, you'd be asleep by now, you'd be gone.
Yeah.
Because it's, you know, it's not that interesting to everyone. But then when you get into the nuts and bolts of what you do, 99% of it's disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry you can't have an interview. I'm sorry you were unsuccessful. I'm sorry they can't pay the money you want. But for that 1%, you're changing their life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they can go home and go, we can go on holiday. We can get our first mortgage. I've got that pay rise. I've left somewhere which was affecting my mental health. You know, I can work flexible hours. I can, you know, I can do something different. And that's where I'm from. And it's one of the reasons we only work exclusive and retained. So if you were, and maybe we will work together in the future, but if we're recruiting for you, you know, we work closely together. We're part of your team. If at the start, and you probably get this with your customers, if it feels like they're keeping us at a distance, or they're not being honest, or they're not letting us in, we're not the right shop.
Yeah, that's
you know,
right,
there's other shops that can work like that. We don't work like that. Personality is important.
Absolutely.
So you're pretty big on LinkedIn and you have fun.
Yeah.
What would be your 3 top tips to someone? No pressure. Have fun.
What, just
drink?
Fly a plane. It's great.
Yeah, I mean
but don't do that drunk.
That stands you up, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, just don't have a porn star
Someone's
martini.
going to text in, I'm going to be a Red Devil pilot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what? It's just having personality is huge, isn't it? It shows who you are, and you're not liked by everybody, and we know that. And
Haters are going to hate.
Well, we can't change that, but they're always more interested in what you're doing than your actual fans. So I think it's easy to say, just be yourself and, you know, show a bit of personality. And that's all I've ever done, and that's what I continue to do. You know, and I love the job I do. I really do. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't do it. It's quite easy to do. I could go get something else. You know, be quite good fun. Just go be a pilot or something.
Richard.
Yeah. Sorry, who?
Yeah.
But I love what I do. I enjoy it. And
there's a girl out here going up on this big access tower, and she's waving at you outside.
Exactly, that would be me. Just be yourself and try and enjoy what you do. You know, and you're going to have good days, bad days, but just drive through it and look at the better. That's what I do.
And that's something which I work with schools, I work with colleges, I work with prisons, and you know, and you're trying to give people advice. You know, and you're not. I don't have all the answers, but it's almost part coaching, part mentoring, part putting an arm around their shoulder, or part saying just have a go.
Yeah.
Because it's a boring world if we all conform, but have a go and try. You have. You know, you've knocked over stereotypes.
Yes.
You stand out through personality. That's a challenge in itself, okay? So if you were talking to an audience of young people, and it was, you know, boys and girls at school, there are girls there that are thinking about, well, can I get in the construction sector? Will the construction sector like me? Will the hire sector like me? The plant sector like me? What would you say to them? How would you bring your story to life, what you've gone through and how you've knocked it over, and what can they do?
I tell you what, the best way to put this is there is absolutely nothing out there that is out of your capabilities. And if somebody hasn't done it yet, then there's no reason why you can't be the first. So obviously I'm in a bit of a male-dominated industry.
Slightly.
Very slightly. I love that. I prefer it. It's just so much more fun. But you know what?
As you swoop in your plane. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, I'll post the odd picture of me sitting on the back of a 1,000cc motorbike, and people are like, my God, you know, it's not expected. No, it's not expected, but it's what I do, and it's how I have fun with things. So if you wanted to go into the construction world, or you know, or the hire industry that supports the construction world, just give it a go. You know, your gender is absolutely irrelevant now. We're so much far forward from where we used to be 20, 30, 40 years ago. There's a lot more women doing this job. One of my really good mates of the industry is a truck driver. She's huge on LinkedIn.
I've seen the two of you.
Yeah, she's huge on LinkedIn. She's absolutely brilliant, and I am going to say hello to Jodie because she's fantastic.
Hello, Jodie.
She's brilliant.
Does Jodie want to come on? I mean, she could bring the truck, you could bring the plane. train.
I tell you what,
planes, trains, trucks. There's a film there, isn't
I
there?
tell you what, all of us in Brighton would be magical.
Charlie could come. He can bring the gigs. He can get the guest list.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
But Jodie is again a brilliant example. You know, she's a lorry driver. She didn't set out to be a lorry driver, but that's what she's doing now, and she really enjoys what she's doing. And again, we'd known the pair of us not only through our friendship, but because of what we do. And I say to her, I ask her these questions. I say, do you get grief on site? And then she always says, no. Do you? No. And we just don't.
Yeah.
You get lads who might give you, you're right, love, you know, you get girls who say that, which is far better. But I'm not, it doesn't matter. That doesn't faze me. That doesn't worry me. Like, you know, I very rarely, I've had it before where a couple of guys, you know, very, very start, said to me, I need a hand getting something out the car, love. You know, this was when we did small tools when I first started out. I said, okay, I'll give you a hand. He went, no, I need a bloke. I said, well, there isn't one. And I actually went out and I pulled this mixer out the back of his car on my own. And he was just stood there absolutely shocked. And he said, you know what, you've just completely changed I'm sorry that I assumed.
Yeah. He probably didn't mean it, how it... do you know what I mean?
Probably just being a gentleman, you know.
There's arguably some, like, innocent, good, like he's trying to do the right thing. You know what I mean?
Yes, and I get that.
I think that's because that's the. And I'm gonna, you know, I don't know what I'm doing here, but you know, you're a danger of, like, you know, showing good manners.
Yes.
Like, I held the door open for someone the other day, and genuinely had a pop at me going, I can open that myself. I went, I'll fucking shut your face next time.
Yeah, I would have put through it. Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But and that's kind of, my nan brought me up to be nice.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely.
She brought me up, and you know, and if I didn't do it, I'd get a slap.
No, it's manners, and it's general manners. But unfortunately, a lot of people sometimes think, they're only doing it because I'm a man, or I only do it because I'm a woman. No, I'm doing it because actually I'm a decent person. Don't change. If you want to get into a sector that you think is not for you because of your gender, or your age, or whatever, don't. My advice is go for it, do it. The apprenticeship schemes out there are massive,
and they are, and they're coming out. And I think it's a challenge for your industry, for my industry, for all the guests that are coming on the show. It's a challenge for us because we've got to make our careers attractive.
Yeah,
you're 20 years in.
Yeah,
you know, I'm more than that because I'm older than you.
You are older, just emphasise that. Yeah.
Hold on, I put my hat on. I'm not that bad.
No, you don't look older. You don't look older.
Do I look 47?
No,
I'm 46.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm nearly 47. I'm 47 in February. What are you laughing at? I am. But in reality, I don't know why I put my hat on.
I don't know. No, I'm all right actually. Thank you.
Oh, Charlie, have the hat. So when we look at it like that, you can for young people. If we would put someone like yourself out there as like as a point of inspiration, you're not going to blind them with science. No. You're not going to tell them how to live their lives. You're going to say, look, have fun. Yeah. Think about something you want to do. Don't look back, right? Because I did something a few years ago, and it was, what did I want to be when I grew up? And we was asking you. I'd say, right, so, you know, and you say, fighter pilot, you know, whatever. But when you were at school, what did you want to do? Right? And it amazed me. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to be this. I wanted to be that. And people are doing different things. And the world does change, but it's following those passions and following those dreams where actually you can do it. And I say to people all the time that you are so capable. Just put yourself out there. Don't worry.
No, that's
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Just stay the same, don't
Exactly, yeah. And there's so many different roles in this industry. Yeah. You don't have to be on site covered in mud. You know, you could be in the offices, but it's just it's a different environment to what I think people expect. We
did some recruitment recently for an apprenticeship training provider, and they've got apprentices across trade kitchen businesses, builders merchants, you know, trade outlets. It's sort of place where we hang out. You know, like so, and they've had some brilliant trainers working with them that are delivering apprenticeships, but some of them, because they're not used to that environment, have kind of been uncomfortable in that, you know, I've got to go to a trade yard and a counter and there's a lorry coming, you know. So what we've done, and it's a really great project, is we've attracted people who perhaps are already in the industry but love training, love developing people, or we've found the right trainers that would like to go into that environment. And it's been brilliant because then you're thinking, well, that's going to make sure these people stick their apprenticeships. It's going to make sure they pass. It's going to give them a route forward. That's kind of where I'm about with it, is that there are so many opportunities and so many jobs out there.
Absolutely.
There's always something.
Definitely.
There's always something for everyone.
You could be anything. I mean, my next step, I've had a meeting with my boss the other day. I was like, right, I want to go up now. I want to do the next thing. You know, where we at? You know, and I put pressure on them all the time. But I know there's nothing I can't do. I'll have my boss's job one day, hopefully. If I don't win
I don't
the
think
lottery
he'll have a
before.
choice in the
I
matter.
don't think he's going to have a choice.
Yeah.
No, I think I'll probably fight him for it. But no,
Would it be like Marcus of Queensbury? Will it be like MMA? What sort of battle?
Well, I
are you
used to
gonna-
do kickboxing.
Oh, of course you did.
So let's do that, shall we?
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's have a go at that. I'll probably win that one.
I mean, the brag sheet's out of control. I used to do kickboxing. Yeah.
Oh, years ago.
Yeah.
That was a few years ago. Yeah. Well, listen, you've got to try things, haven't you?
Of course you have,
Try
and that I think's got to be the message for us in terms of the listeners, is that you are someone that's tried things. You are
Yes.
someone that stands out genuinely, and I mean this. Thank you so much for coming on.
No, it's been a
We do it
pleasure.
next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday
I'm
because
here.
we're recording.
We're doing it. Let's do it. Let's book in.
We're recording, but have you enjoyed it?
I've absolutely loved it, and I hope
Good.
people have got something from it as well.
I don't think they can, and I'm gonna bring a bit more Frank Sinatra in because I've
Let's
got
do
Fly
it.
Me to the Moon, and I got Come Fly With Me.
We're going to do Rocky now, are we?
I think that. Do you know what I would say to sum up this episode? And Charlie will put this into some of the marketing for it. I'd say that Ioannou.
Ioannou. That'll do.
Ioannou.
Yes.
Right, Ioannou.
Yeah.
She does it her way.
Thank you.
There you
Indeed.
go. You've been an absolutely fantastic guest.
Thank you very
Promise
much.
me, I'm not letting you out unless you promise to come back.
I will 100% be back. It'll be a privilege.
And we'll have a night out in Brighton.
Porn stars, mate, all over it.
A few martinis or just the
No,
first couple?
let's go for the porn stars.
Booyaka.
Take
Elle,
care.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the next episode. This is my favourite. I don't care if I'm going to upset the other guests. She's better than them. Thanks for listening. That was the Foy and Jones show. I've even supported Marcel. I've forgotten you. Thank you so much to Marcel Creasy, our brilliant sponsor from MHK Holding UK. Without you, this podcast doesn't exist, and we are going to bring Marcel out because he's a crazy Dutchman. He loves Ajax. He lives in Germany. He's got
Cool.
more personality than us combined. We'll bring him as well.
Let's do it.
Take care.
See you later.
That's the end of the podcast. In next week's episode, I'm joined by Damien Sheridan of Stoltz Kitchens.